Welcome to the 17th Annual Gold Derby TV Awards. This is our winners announcement. Many of you voted over the course of the summer for your nominations, which came out a day or two after the Emmy nominations. Next year, I think we're going to move them in front because your votes were already in before Emmy nominations came out, and we already were foretelling some really interesting out-of-the-box choices. So next year, we have to remember to announce our nominations before the Emmys do and not let them steal our thunder. But you'll see the winners today over the next half hour in 30 categories. Over 2,000 people voted for our winners, and that's way more than last year. 1,500 people voted last year, so we did have a surge in interest in the Gold Derby Awards this year. By the way, all of these winners today, this morning, will get certificates sent to them. Just like they do get certificates on Emmys and Oscars and such. We've heard from them at parties. They seem to love getting those, and they frame those along with their other awards. Also, their wins and nominations, if you ever want to look back in time, are on their IMDb pages, wins and losses, on the show's pages as well as the performers' pages. So anyway, we're going to get started on 30 categories. We've got myself, Chris Beachum, Paul Sheehan, Marcus Dixon, Joyce Eng, and Daniel Montgomery, who will jump in from time to time and let you know who finished in second, and was it a blowout or was it a close vote. So Paul's got the first two categories, and we're going to kick it off with reality.
Great. We've also got Zach Laws here, too. He'll be chiming in.
Zach Laws. I can't see everybody on my screen. I'm sorry.
He's the newest addition to the Gold Derby family. So, yeah, we're going to start with reality. And I'll read off the names and the nominees and then the winner. And like I said, remember, you're hearing these here before the Emmys. So the reality host nominees are Nicole Byer for Nailed It, RuPaul Charles for RuPaul's Drag Race, Ellen DeGeneres for Ellen's Game of Games, Heidi Klum and Tim Gunn, for Making the Cut, Amy Poehler and Nick Offerman for Making It, and the Queer Eye host for Queer Eye. And the winner of the reality host category is RuPaul Charles for RuPaul's Drag Race. So the other category I'll do is a competition program. And the nominees are American Ninja Warrior, The Masked Singer, Nailed It, RuPaul's Drag Race, Survivor, and The Voice. And the winner is RuPaul's Drag Race. So those are our reality. And Daniel's going to give us some commentary now.
Yeah, RuPaul as a host was a pretty definitive winner, but that was actually the closer race. The Queer Eye hosts finished second, and Amy Poehler and Nick Offerman finished third, and Nicole Byer finished fourth. Those three contenders all had strong support, but it was always RuPaul's race. And RuPaul's Drag Race for competition show was a complete blowout. This is actually RuPaul has won reality host 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, and our Decade Award for the last decade, and the same is true for RuPaul's Drag Race as a series. So no loss of love for that series. And I myself will be announcing the nominees and winners in the variety and animation categories. So starting up with Variety Talk series, the nominees are The Daily Show with Trevor Noah, Full Frontal with Samantha Bee, Jimmy Kimmel Live, Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, and Late Show with Stephen Colbert. And the Gold Derby Award goes to Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. Next up, Best Variety Sketch Series. The nominees are At Home with Amy Sedaris, A Black Lady Sketch Show, Drunk History, and Saturday Night Live. And the Gold Derby Award goes to Saturday Night Live. And Best Animated Program. The nominees are Big Mouth, Bob's Burgers, BoJack Horseman, Rick and Morty, and The Simpsons. And the award goes to BoJack Horseman. Now, in every single one of those cases, that is a repeat victory. Last Week Tonight with John Oliver has won every year since, I think, 2006. Saturday Night Live since 2007. BoJack Horseman is the most awarded animated series in the history of the Gold Derby Awards, and it won the Decade Award for the last decade. So it wasn't really close for variety sketch series. Saturday Night Live had that pretty much on lock. Last Week Tonight with John Oliver had some competition from The Daily Show, but that was a pretty secure win. He had about 80 votes over Trevor Noah, and BoJack Horseman was a blowout for its last season. But we will have a new animated winner next year because BoJack Horseman ended its run earlier this season.
And we'll see if BoJack can repeat that victory at the Emmys, or if our voters are smarter than the TV Academy ones. Up next, we have the limited and movie supporting categories, starting off with the Supporting Actor Prize. The nominees there were Yahya Abdul Mateen II for Watchmen, Titus Burgess for Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, Joe Mantello for Hollywood, Tim Blake Nelson for Watchmen, Jim Parsons for Hollywood, and Jesse Plemons for El Camino. And the winner there was Jim Parsons for Hollywood. In the Supporting Actress category, the nominees were Rose Byrne for Mrs. America, Hong Chow for Watchmen, Toni Collette for Unbelievable, Allison Janney for Bad Education, Sarah Paulson for Mrs. America, and Jean Smart for Watchmen. And the winner there was Toni Collette for Unbelievable.
And here's where you get some interesting statistics because, I believe Jean Smart is the front runner for the Emmys this weekend, and Toni Collette beat her here, or it's a two-way race at the Emmys. I can't remember exactly where our odds stand. But it was close enough between Toni Collette and Jean Smart, first and second place. Jean Smart did finish second. That Hong Chow, who finished third place, if all of her votes had gone to Jean Smart would have won this. So that's an interesting case where vote splitting might have taken effect. And the same thing happened with movie mini supporting actor potentially. Tim Blake Nelson in second place and Yahya Abdul Mateen II for Watchmen had almost the same amount of support. Like they were within 6 votes of each other. And if you add them together, they beat Jim Parsons, who didn't split nearly as many with Joe Mantello.
Well, I've got the other limited and movie acting races, and the nominees for actor are Chris Evans defending Jacob, Hugh Jackman, Bad Education, Jeremy Irons, Watchmen, Paul Mescal, Normal People, Aaron Paul, El Camino, and Mark Ruffalo, I Know This Much Is True. And our Gold Derby Award winner is Paul Mescal for Normal People. Limited movie actress nominees are Cate Blanchett, Mrs. America, Caitlin Dever, Unbelievable, Shira Haas, Unorthodox, Regina King, Watchmen, Octavia Spencer, Self-Made, and Merritt Weaver, Unbelievable. And our winner there, Daniel will tell you more about this, but first time ever winning a Gold Derby TV award is Regina King, even though she has 3 Emmys for Watchmen.
Yeah, she has 3 Emmys, but all of those were to some degree a surprise at the Emmys. So we didn't actually give her the Gold Derby TV awards for American Crime or 7 Seconds. I do believe that she did win the Gold Derby Film Award for If Beale Street Could Talk, but this is her first Gold Derby TV award, and it was pretty much a blowout. Cate Blanchett finished second place, but she was about 200 votes behind. I would talk about the vote split with the Unbelievable actresses, but as much as I love them, unfortunately, even if you add them up, they don't catch Regina King. That's how far ahead she was. Movie Mini Actor was much closer. Paul Mescal really was just 23 votes ahead of Mark Ruffalo, less than 40 votes ahead of Hugh Jackman. So those 3 were really tight in there. Even Chris Evans was less than 100 votes out of a win. So it was an incredibly close race. But yes, Paul Mescal took that one out.
Well, moving on to some program categories. First up is TV Movie. And the nominees are American Son, Bad Education, El Camino, Togo, and Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, the interactive movie, And the Gold Derby TV Award goes to Bad Education. And moving on to limited series, the nominees are Little Fires Everywhere, Mrs. America, Normal People, Unbelievable, and Watchmen. And no surprise here, the winner is Watchmen.
Yeah, and these were both pretty secure blowouts. Bad Education had almost twice as many votes as second place El Camino, and Watchmen had almost triple the number of votes as second place Unbelievable. And actually, Normal People, which didn't get in at the Emmys for a nomination for limited series, finished in third place, with Mrs. America in fourth.
Up next, we have the Guest Acting Awards. First is Comedy Guest Actor. The nominees are Luke Kirby, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Dustin Milligan, Schitt's Creek, Eddie Murphy, Saturday Night Live, Dev Patel, Modern Love, J.K. Simmons, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and Fred Willard, Modern Family. And the Gold Derby Award goes to Eddie Murphy for Saturday Night Live. And in Comedy Guest Actress, we have Angela Bassett, A Black Lady Sketch Show, Lisa Kudrow, The Good Place, Bette Midler, The Politician, Maya Rudolph, The Good Place, Wanda Sykes, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and Phoebe Waller-Bridge, Saturday Night Live. And the Gold Derby TV Award goes to Maya Rudolph for The Good Place, who was not up against herself here like she is at the Emmys.
Yeah, these were both pretty secure victories. Eddie Murphy finished about 160 votes ahead of Luke Kirby in second place and Dustin Milligan in third place. Comedy Guest Actress shouldn't really be a surprise that Maya Rudolph had more than double the number of votes as Phoebe Waller-Bridge in second place, because Maya Rudolph for The Good Place has won this award now 3 years in a row, and she won the Gold Derby Decade Award for Best Guest Actress in a Comedy Series of the Decade for this performance. So she has now won this basically 4 times.
So now we're going to move on to the supporting categories, and like at the Emmys, there's a lot of nominees. So in comedy supporting actor, the nominees are Mahershala Ali for Rami, Andre Braugher, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Nakuto Gatwa for Sex Education, William Jackson Harper, The Good Place, Nicholas Hoult, The Great, Dan Levy for Schitt's Creek, James Marsden's Dead to Me, and Tony Shalhoub for The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. And the winner is Dan Levy for Schitt's Creek. And then for comedy supporting actress, the nominees are Gillian Anderson for Sex Education, Alex Borstein for The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Darcy Carden for The Good Place, Betty Gilpin for Glow, Emily Hampshire for Schitt's Creek, Anne Hathaway for Modern Love, Kate McKinnon for Saturday Night Live, and Annie Murphy for Schitt's Creek. And the winner is Annie Murphy, Schitt's Creek.
Dan Levy had a pretty secure win here. He had almost twice as many votes as second place Tony Shalhoub, and then finishing third in that race was Nicholas Hoult for The Great, even though he didn't get in at the Emmys, actually. Comedy supporting actress was a lot closer. This was kind of a nail-biter between Annie Murphy and Darcy Carden. It was within 30 votes. Darcy Carden has won this before, so we're not sending her away from The Good Place with nothing. She has won before, and Annie Murphy, interestingly enough, she had a co-star nominated against her, Emily Hampshire, but did not take enough votes away from Annie Murphy to take away her win here. So that'll be interesting that she doesn't even have a co-star nominated against her at the Emmys, and if that makes her even stronger there than she is here. And that's me. Next up, the comedy lead categories, starting with Best Comedy Actor. The nominees are Asa Butterfield for Sex Education, Ted Danson, The Good Place, Larry David, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Eugene Levy for Schitt's Creek, Ben Platt for The Politician, and Rami Youssef for Rami. And the Gold Derby Award goes to Eugene Levy for Schitt's Creek. And Best Comedy Actress, the nominees are Christina Applegate for Dead to Me, Awkwafina for Nora from Queens, Kristen Bell for The Good Place, Rachel Brosnahan for The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Catherine O'Hara for Schitt's Creek, and Issa Rae for Insecure. And after these previous winners, I'm sure you will be shocked to hear that the winner is Catherine O'Hara. And these were also pretty decisive wins. For Catherine O'Hara had about triple the number of votes of second place Christina Applegate, and Eugene Levy was about 200 votes ahead of Ted Danson in second place, and then Rami Youssef finished in third place. So yeah, this was a pretty secure list of Schitt's Creek winners, and actually the first time any comedy series has ever won all 4 main acting awards, lead and supporting.
Well, let's wrap up the comedy categories and see if the shit show can continue, as it were. Up next is comedy episode, and the nominees there are Finale from Modern Family, Happy Ending from Schitt's Creek, It's Not You, It's Me from Dead to Me, A Jewish Girl Walks Into the Apollo from The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, The View from Halfway Down from BoJack Horseman, and Whenever You're Ready from The Good Place. And the winner is Happy Ending from Schitt's Creek. And finally, we have the nominees for Best Comedy Series of the Year. They are Better Things, Dead to Me, The Good Place, Insecure, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Schitt's Creek, Sex Education, and What We Do in the Shadows. The winner there is Schitt's Creek. I was really biting my nails with that final one.
Yeah, it was a little closer for comedy episode, although this was still a pretty decisive win for Happy Ending. Whenever You're Ready from Good Place had a lot of support also in second place, and The View from Halfway Down from BoJack had a lot of support. That was in third place. Comedy series was not close at all. Schitt's Creek had more votes than the next 2 nominees combined, which were Marvelous and Mrs. Maisel in second place and The Good Place in the third place, which is not the best place, but it's not the worst place. And then actually one of the surprise Emmy nominees and Gold Derby Award nominees this year, What We Do in the Shadows, was actually in fourth.
Wow. Smart voters.
Well, let's move on to drama. These are our last few categories. And then remember, toward the end, we have categories that the Emmys don't have. We have Performer of the Year, which takes into account all performances over the 12 months. We have Ensemble of the Year, which could be any genre. And we've got Breakthrough Performer of the Year, whoever had the best surge in their career for the first time. All those are coming up a little bit later, but let's do drama. And drama guest actor, I have those 2 categories. Jason Bateman, The Outsider, James Cromwell, Succession, Charles Dance, The Crown, Damon Harriman, Mindhunter, Dean Norris, Better Call Saul, and Andrew Scott, Black Mirror. And Andrew Scott is our winner. And I believe he won last year on the comedy side for Fleabag, which did not even give him a Emmy nomination last year. And then drama guest actress, Alexis Bledel, The Handmaid's Tale, Laverne Cox, Orange is the New Black, Miley Cyrus, Black Mirror, Cherry Jones, Succession, Jane Lapotaire, I hope that's how you say that, The Crown, and Cicely Tyson, How to Get Away with Murder. And our Gold Derby Award for Guest Actress is going to Cherry Jones, Succession.
And Andrew Scott was a pretty decisive winner here, more than double the votes of second place Jason Bateman, and then James Cromwell finished third there. And Charles Dance was actually very close to that top 3 with for The Crown in fourth place. Drama guest actress was a lot closer. Cicely Tyson was 23 votes away from taking this away from Cherry Jones, with Jane Lapotaire, again, hoping that's how you pronounce her name. Apologies if not. Finishing in third place for The Crown, and Alexis Bledel also very close for The Handmaid's Tale. All of those top 4 within 100 votes of each other.
Well, moving on to the supporting actor and actress in a drama series. Actors first. The nominees are Jonathan Banks, Better Call Saul, Billy Crudup, The Morning Show, Kieran Culkin, Succession, David Harbour, Stranger Things, Matthew McFadden, Succession, Josh O'Connor, The Crown, Mandy Patinkin, Homeland, and Tom Pelphrey, Ozark. And this doesn't happen a lot, but our winner was snubbed at the Emmys. Tom Pelphrey, congratulations, you are the winner here. And moving on to Drama Supporting Actress, the nominees are Helena Bonham Carter for The Crown, Laura Dern, Big Little Lies, Julia Garner, Ozark, Holly Hunter for Succession, Gugu Mbatha-Raw for The Morning Show, Rhea Seehorn, Better Call Saul, Sarah Snook, Succession, and Meryl Streep, I've heard of her, Big Little Lies. And our winner is Helena Bonham Carter for The Crown.
And this is an interesting situation for drama supporting actor. Tom Pelphrey had about 60 votes over Kieran Culkin, who was in second place for Succession. Matthew McFadden had another 167 votes. So another case where potentially, who knows, like, you can't say for sure that if there was only one nominee, all of those other votes would have gone to Kieran Culkin. But if theoretically they had, then without two nominees from Succession, Kieran Culkin might have won over Tom Pelphrey, with Josh O'Connor finishing in third place and Billy Crudup in fourth in our voting there. Drama Supporting Actress was not as close. Helena Bonham Carter won that pretty decisively, more than 100 votes over Rhea Seehorn for Better Call Saul. Sarah Snook finished in third place, and although there were two Succession nominees in this category as well, they did not have enough actually combined supports to get ahead of Helena Bonham Carter. That's how far ahead Helena Bonham Carter was here.
So now we're going to move on to the lead categories in drama series. So the leading men in contention are Jason Bateman for Ozark, Brian Cox, Succession, Sam Heughan for Outlander, Bob Odenkirk, Better Call Saul, Billy Porter, Pose, and Jeremy Strong, Succession. And the winner is Sam Heughan for Outlander. And among the leading ladies, the nominees are Jennifer Aniston, The Morning Show, Katrina Balfe for Outlander, Olivia Colman, The Crown, Jodie Comer, Killing Eve, Nicole Kidman, Big Little Lies, Laura Linney, Ozark, and Zendaya for Euphoria. So, Daniel coming back?
Oh, did you announce the winner?
I did. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. The winner, my apologies. I'm so pleased about who the winner is. Laura Linney for Ozark. That I assumed everyone would know from that list who the winner was.
They're all seven-way tie for the win. Yeah, these were actually two really fascinating races. We have a lot of Outlander fans at Gold Derby, and they got Katrina Balfe. Katrina Balfe was actually in the lead for a lot of this race, and she ended up losing to Laura Linney by 2 votes, literally 2 votes. Out of hundreds that were cast for either of them, just 2 separated them. And then Zendaya had a lot of support, actually finished third. Drama actor Sam Heughan finished first. This is his second Gold Derby TV award on his second nomination. He actually has the longest gap between wins in this category because he last won in 2015. And another interesting case of a potential vote split, potentially being decisive, Jeremy Strong finished in second. He was about 50, no, he's actually about 150 votes out, but Brian Cox had about 300 votes as well in third place. So the two of them, if you had added them up, would have scored more points than Sam Heughan, and one of them might have won. It'll be interesting to see if that happens at the Emmys and who it might happen for, because Sam Heughan is not nominated at the Emmys, and both Jeremy Strong and Brian Cox got more nominations than Billy Porter and Jason Bateman, who are nominated at the Emmys as well. So this is going to be, this does not help me at all predict the Emmys. And that brings us to Best Drama Episode. The nominees are, again, my Welsh is not the best, so apologies for this pronunciation. Aberfan for The Crown, All In for Ozark, Fire Pink for Ozark, I Want to Know for Big Little Lies, Never Knew Love Like This Before for Pose, and This Is Not for Tears, Succession. And the Gold Derby Award goes to This Is Not for Tears for Succession. So no vote split here for Succession to ruin its party. It won this very decisively, more than 200 votes over Aberfan. And then actually, the two episodes of Ozark didn't actually, combined, they still wouldn't have gotten over Succession. So this was a pretty decisive win.
And I will finish up drama with drama series. The 8 nominees are Better Call Saul, Big Little Lies, The Crown, Euphoria, Ozark, Pose, Stranger Things, and Succession. And you've probably been able to figure out, based on episode and guest actress, the winner here is Succession.
Yeah, and this was as close as Succession came in so many races and near misses with multiple nominees. This was a very decisive win, more than double the votes of second place Ozark. And then you had third place was The Crown, and fourth place was Better Call Saul.
Well, it's time to finish up with some categories that you won't see on the Emmy ceremony. We're going to start off with Breakthrough Performer of the Year. This is for previously unknown actors, or at least unknown to us and to TV fans, who had a big breakout year and might have even won some other awards from us throughout this day. The nominees here are Yahya Abdul-Mateen II for Watchmen, Daisy Edgar Jones for Normal People, Shira Haas, they're not nominated for these specific shows. So Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, Daisy Edgar Jones, Shira Haas, Paul Mescal, Josh O'Connor, and Bowen Yang. And the winner there was Paul Mescal.
And this was another one of those nail biters. Not only was it close between first and second, it was close, really. The top 3 were all within 13 votes. So Paul Mescal very narrowly beat Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, and they were just barely ahead of Shira Haas. So that was just really a nail biter. And actually just about 100 votes separated first and fifth place, because then you had Josh O'Connor in fourth, Bowen Yang in fifth. Not to take anything away from Daisy Edgar Jones, who did have a lot of support. And interesting, they're from the same program, or they broke out from the same program, and they didn't actually split enough votes to cost Paul Mescal this win. But it came very close.
Our penultimate category is Ensemble of the Year. The nominees are Big Little Lies, Mrs. America, Ozark, Pose, Schitt's Creek, Succession, and Watchmen. And the Gold Derby Award goes to Succession.
And this one was closer than the drama series race, but that's mostly because Succession had to face Schitt's Creek. But it's still actually, given that Schitt's Creek swept the acting categories for comedy, it's a little surprising that Succession won as decisively as it did. It had about 130 votes over Schitt's Creek. In second place, Mrs. America actually finished in third, which is a little surprising that Mrs. America finished over Watchmen, even though Watchmen won limited series so handily. So people really loved the ladies of Mrs. America.
And here we are, the final award of the 2020 Gold Derby TV Awards. This is Performer of the Year. Obviously, we love this one. The Emmys don't have this. And this is not for any specific project. This is just when you think of the person throughout the whole TV season, that's what our voters nominated these folks for. So the nominees are Cate Blanchett, Regina King, Laura Linney, Catherine O'Hara, Merritt Weaver, and Reese Witherspoon. And even though she couldn't get any individual nominations, Reese Witherspoon is your winner for Performer of the entire year. Congratulations.
Yeah, this is one of those, this feels right to me, just because, she was in so many things, and she produced all of them. Like she Big Little Lies didn't get in for Best Drama Series, so she's technically a kind of, we don't list producers on our Best Drama Series and Program winners, but she did produce that nominee. So yeah, she was decisively the winner. She had about 150 votes over second place Regina King and third place Catherine O'Hara. Although I suspect that the fact that Regina and Catherine were so heavily supported in their respective categories that they won, that a lot of people felt like the cumulative achievement of Reese Witherspoon's win, achievement of her TV work this year warranted a win. And I totally agree. That's a really great choice.
I forgot to mention she was also in the morning show. I mean, of course, Big Little Lies and Little Fires Everywhere. She did have quite a phenomenal year.
Yeah, 3 leading roles and executive producers of all of them. I just want to say before we sign off that in terms of vote total, or the winner totals, Schitt's Creek, of course, came out on top with 6 wins. And Succession had 4 victories. And we had a few other shows that took to a piece, like Saturday Night Live, RuPaul's Drag Race, Ozark. And then the rest was well spread to one award to a bunch of other shows.
Well, everyone can go right now and make their final Emmy predictions. Make sure you update before Sunday. The prediction center will close around in the afternoon, just a couple hours maybe before the actual show starts airing on ABC. So how many of our winners will match with the Emmys? That's something we'll have to find out. And you can also predict other shows at Gold Derby, particularly reality shows and the Oscar nominations. Chris Beachum spent hours and hours compiling these lists. So go now and make all of your predictions at Gold Derby. And like Chris mentioned earlier, all of our winners are going to get certificates emailed to them, and you can go see all of the historical wins at IMDb, who's won throughout the past 2 decades almost. So thanks everyone for watching, and we will see you again on Emmy Day. We're going to do a pre-show, we're going to do a post-show, so Gold Derby is the place to get all of your Emmy coverage.